like it. If you guys have never seen me perform before, a little about my style. I'm a procrastinator by choice, which means everything that you saw was written in my shower, not with a pen and paper, obviously. Those do not mix well with water, but more so in my brine. In my brine. In my brine. David came out with the second-rate education joke. I was a Linguistic graduate, so I feel like I should just get this out of the way. If you read the article, there's a part where the lady... First of all, how many are familiar with the second-rate education, like that whole thing? Just like clap. Well, thank you so much for welcoming me on stage again. So, part of the article, the lady says that she wanted to move her kids to that area because she wanted her kids to go to the boldest, and that's a fair argument, I get that. But then she says that Miller offers a second-rate education because they have a cosmetology lab, and the boldest has a computer lab, robotics lab. There is no robotics lab at the boldest. There was a robotics club. It consisted of 2 men who just really loved robots. So, just thought I'd clear that up for you guys. My name is Raul Garcia. It's not Raul, not Raul, not Rail. People get it confused. But like, here I get it. It's an exotic name. It gives me the fiery passion of Morocco and Mexico. I get that. Like, but if you go to like a Latin country, it's like Gary. It's very normal. But I think there's like stereotypes to each name. Like, for example, Eugene. You think Eugene? Oh, it's a nerdy guy. Probably looks like me, but my name's Raul. Someone named Shane probably has a chin strap. Probably wears a tux. Like a blazer, but has a chain wallet, probably owns a lot of wife beaters, and he's like, you know what, I could wear this out in public. I could wear this, and no one would have a problem with me just wearing a wife beater. I am a scholar. I'm a 4th-year university student, and I'm conducting a research study that there is not a single attractive person named Todd. Think about it. Let's name out some attractive Todds. Todd Bertuzzi? That's the only Todd I know. Obviously, I haven't done much research on this topic. Todd. But words are weird too. Like, for example, there's like words that phase out. For example, a few years ago, like now, you can't say the R word, right? Like there's a very negative stigma attached to it. But a few years ago, the Black Eyed Peas released the song, Let's Get Retarded. Where was that coming from? Was that the idea of Apple the App and Taboo? I think so. I don't think Fergie or William were involved in that one. That seems like Taboo's doing. You guys are all very familiar with the Black Eyed Peas, aren't you? I like that. I wish the Black Eyed Peas would team up with like other artists from my like childhood, like for example, Shaggy. You would always listen to a song and you weren't sure if Shaggy was gonna come in. So example, it'd be a very like a nice chorus, and then in the background you'd just hear I was like, oh no, Shaggy's on this track. The same thing happens with Jay-Z when he did Young Forever, where it was Forever Young, like the 80s song, and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful rendition of Forever Young, like I haven't heard this song in a while. And then at around the 32nd part, you just hear, oh, Jay-Z. Ruining yet another day. I think that's why Solange was so mad at him. I think Forever Young was playing in the elevator, and then Jay-Z just started, and then she kicked the shit out of him. Which again, like kicking the shit out of someone is a very interesting phase. Do you imagine getting to a beat to a point where you just start defecating? Like that's weird. That's embarrassing for everyone involved. But I think music influences a lot of how people dress and how, like, I judge people by their covers. like books by their cover. I was taught right at a young age. For example, nowadays, people go to the thrift shop a lot. They buy older clothes, they're cheap. I like it, I dig it. They're older, whatever, right? But I kind of wish I had grown up in like 2003, and I was going to the club in 2003 because that's when Nelly was at the top of his game, and he was inspirational. And I'd like to see go out to Ohans and just see a bunch of white dudes with band-aids on their cheeks. That'd be fantastic. Nelly released that song, there's a, you know the song, where he goes, if you ever know somebody, put your hands up. And I think that song has caused a lot of accidents, because it's popular on the radio, and I put my hands up, and I've not even loved anyone, so... Catchy tune, Nelly. You've done it again. I remember when he was in movies, that was fun. I wish that happened more. He was in The Longest Mile. That's not what it's called. Longest Yard. The Longest Mile is the spin-off where they walk. They don't play football, they're a marathon team. A long-ass mile. And Ellie's there, of course. No, but like I like to judge people by how they look, because it's fun. For example, someone who wears a fedora, probably really into contact juggling and handling snakes. Like, I understand a fedora in the 40s, it's like, oh, this makes sense. But now, like, do you sell cars? Are you into reptiles? I don't know, probably have a goatee too. Sick goat. Probably. A sick goat. Where did that come from? I don't know if I should do this joke, but you guys seem pretty willing and I'm an adult. So I'm gonna do it. Speaking of words, I'm gonna do one before and then I'll gauge your reaction. I'll be like, You know, I'm gonna do both of them, whatever. The term perv isn't used anymore. What happened there? Great term. The other term that I would use in verbal fights, because obviously if I were to get into a physical fight, I would be in the hospital. If someone were to be like, oh, you're not coming to my birthday party, I'd be like, whatever, chimo. If you don't know what a chimo is, it's a mix of child and molester. Chimo. First of all, my first language is Spanish, so when I was growing up, that's all I knew until like when I started school. I learned English through school, which is pretty amazing if you ask me, because not many people would know that. Shout out to my parents, Sylvia and Raul 2. I am Raul 3, for those of you keeping track at home. But the word molestar in Spanish means to bother someone. So if someone's bothering you, he's molestándote, right? So when I was a child, if someone was bothering me, like this only happened like once and then I realized what happened, I would go, hey, stop molesting me. And you're probably wondering, was that the voice I had? Was I an effeminate man when I was a child? No, that's just an artistic choice I made for that joke. But I was talking about the word chimo and how it's not used anymore, and I was like, yeah, like, why is it not used? And then I thought about it. I was like, doesn't chimo sound like a really shitty Pokemon? Like his only attack is fondle and it just leaves him like self-loathing? Yeah. I'm glad you guys were very receptive to that. I'm gonna write that down as a check mark on that one. Hold on. My pen ran out of ink. That's okay. I will now run down the jokes I wrote there's no connection between them. They're just kind of thoughts I've had. There's been a lot of horse racing on TV lately. Whatever. I think horse racing would be a lot more exciting if there's like blood sport and jousting. Like if it was a horse race but everyone got lances and maces, that'd be better. Obviously you don't agree with me. Cool. Obviously you haven't watched A Knight's Tale. Get on my level. Watch that every weekend. Peachtree TV represent. Tyler Perry presents Knight's Tale. Whenever I'm introduced to somebody's parents, my voice goes about 2 octaves higher. I think that's a common thread with people. Maybe not. This was written as I was going into a early bird class at university. They start at 7:30. Don't take those. I was forced to. And it's, if you're getting coffee from a vending machine, you're pretty much already admitting defeat on the day. Guess you guys don't get your coffee from vending machines. You guys need to live more. Like when you get a coffee from a vending machine, you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna spend about 2 hours in the bathroom now. Those things run through you. Speaking of that, I got food poisoning in Toronto in the summer, but that's a story for another time. I set up camp in the bathroom and I watched Kool and the Gang's live at the Glastonbury, which is a 2-hour show, and I watched it 3 times. So I was very sick while Celebrate Good Times was playing in the background, and I was clapping along too, like I was in a very bad state, but Kool and the Gang was cheering me up. I wish I was part of the gang. It would be Raul and the Gang. Or like if it was a band of business professionals, we'd be Lincoln Park. Like that would be sick. Get on that LinkedIn game. I went to a country bar once. Ugh, right? Who's with me? And I kept on requesting Scotty Doesn't Know, and they wouldn't play it. So that pretty much explains why they haven't succeeded yet. I got 2 more here. One of them is people who eat cheese strings without stringing them are fucking degenerates. That's how you know the mark of a serial killer. And this one is business idea in all caps, : a poutine stand that just sets up in random stores without their permission. Alright, and here it comes. And it's called Vladimir Putin. Terrific. I'm gonna end my set like Tyrese ended. If you guys don't know who Tyrese is, fuck you guys. He's talented. Tyrese Gibson. He's in Fast and Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious. Fast 5. The other one. But he recently sang the national anthem at a boxing fight between Floyd Mayweather and the other person. And he ended the anthem by going http://www.facebook.com/Tyrese. So I will end it in a similar fashion. http://www.twitter.com/@RaulGFresh. You guys have been terrific. You really like that Chimo joke, so you're all right in my books. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.